What to serve for Thanksgiving? Well, let's ask a top chef. Season 12 Top Chef contestant Chef Rebecca LaMalfa, formerly executive chef of the Virgin Hotel Chicago, and now exec chef of Detroit's Small Plates Cocktail Lounge Standby, joins me in the WGN radio studios to dish on Thanksgiving, junk food, and so much more. I'm Elysabeth Alfano, host of the TV show, web series, and podcast, The Celebrity Dinner Party. Sit tight. After a quick word about podcasts and a word from our sponsor, Adora Therapy, I'll be right back with Top Chef Rebecca LaMalfa. Life is challenging, and everyone needs a tool they can use to shift their mood in the moment. Adora Therapy is an aromatherapy company that makes mood boost personal sprays and room scents for every occasion. Blends like lavender chamomile, cinnamon clove, and blood orange bergamot are only some of the fragrances from Adora Therapy's unique line of specialty scents, carefully mixed to trigger chakra points and to help you boost your mood. Plus, Adora Therapy sprays and roll-ons are pre-blended, vegan, cruelty-free, and ready to go. The perfect size to fit in your purse and take with you to boost your mood anytime, anywhere. So treat yourself to a mood boost and share the gift of stunningly packaged mood boosts with others. Visit adoratherapy.com and don't forget to like us on Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast, The Celebrity Dinner Party, with me, Elysabeth Alfano, on iTunes. Just search for The Celebrity Dinner Party. Or, if SoundCloud is your thing, you can find me there too by searching for The Celebrity Dinner Party. Subscribe and you'll never have to hunt for engaging and inspiring interviews again. They'll just land on your computer or your iPhone every time a new podcast comes out. So subscribe now to The Celebrity Dinner Party with me, Elysabeth Alfano, because the best conversations really do happen over dinner. I have here executive chef at the Virgin Hotel, Rebecca LaMalfa. She's in the studio with me. I just want to know, how busy are you guys tonight at the hotel?
Oh, we're pretty busy tonight. Yeah,
I always think everybody would be home cooking, but no, a lot of people go out.
A lot of people go out, and it's also like after the parade, we're so close to the parade, we just get... Every single parade always surprises me because I'm like, oh my God, there's so many people in here. Ah!
Well, I'm amazed that you can actually squeeze free from the kitchen.
I could today. Just at the end, I was like, bye, guys. I'll be back.
It's my time. It's my time to leave. Well, so it's not just Thanksgiving at the hotel. What about Thanksgiving at home? Because you are married to a chef, and you both work at hotels. So you're married to Chef Thomas Lentz of 16. And so you're both working at restaurants in hotels, which means you're both packed tonight.
Yes.
What do you guys get to do for Thanksgiving?
Well, our birthdays are also like right after. So my birthday's tomorrow and his birthday's the day after.
Oh, how great is that? So it's a 3-day party, basically.
It is. So we usually just like go out to dinner for our birthday. So tomorrow we're going to the Everest Room, which is one of my favorite restaurants in the city.
And did he
used to work there like a million years ago.
Chef Joho.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Yes. And with Paul Verrant was there when he worked there.
Oh.
So Pat and Mike Sheeran were there when he worked there.
Yes.
So it's definitely like when he came back to Chicago, it was a pretty hysterical reunion.
Oh, how great is that? And I can see that he would have a lot in common with Paul Verrant. I've had Chef Paul Verrant on my show, The Dinner Party, and he's so focused on natural food, farm to table, which I know sort of is a phrase that people just toss around now, but Chef Verrant's very dedicated to that.
Absolutely.
And so is your husband. And I know so are you too, but I know your husband has made kind of a name for himself there at 16 with that philosophy.
Yeah, he is very much into like it doesn't matter where it comes from, as long as it's the best ingredient, that's the ingredient he's going to serve in his restaurant.
Well, how did you meet? Was it in Vegas? Because you were in Vegas before Chicago.
Yes, we met in Vegas. And we got in an argument over the preferred flavor of Pop-Tart.
Wait, now hold on. This is how you met?
Yeah, this was exactly how we met.
Is this like the first date conversation?
No,
or
this
you're
was
actually
like...
in the store, you bump into each other, and you're like fighting for Pop-Tarts?
It was my best friend's 30th birthday party, and Tom had just moved back over from Ireland, and my best friend's husband worked with his best friend. And they actually both, Justin, we used to work at the Everest Room as well, so they all worked together. And Tom was working at Robichon, and I brought the birthday cake. And Justin brought Tom, and I remember when Katie and I put this disgusting birthday party together, we were like, okay, we were in like the junk food aisle. I'm like, all right, what did we wish we had in our lunch boxes when we were kids? So we basically went through the store and bought all of the crap you're not supposed to eat.
Yes, right. The worst foods on the planet,
Yeah.
which are so good.
They were, amazing. So I was like, I am so having that like brown sugar and cinnamon Pop-Tart. And
a great flavor.
Totally my favorite flavor. And he was like, ew, is that strawberry? And I was like, that is disgusting. That tastes like
the worst
cough
flavor.
syrup. It's horrible. It's his favorite flavor. And I was like, you're
That's wrong.
nasty. What is wrong with you? And he was like, he couldn't believe that somebody had said that to him.
So I like the brown sugar, cinnamon.
Me too.
And I think I'm getting this right because I haven't had them in a while because they're so bad for you. And you eat one, you have to eat 12.
Yeah.
You know, you open the box
Yeah, it's
and
like,
there's
all
like
right,
4 packets
this
of
has to
2.
go.
Yes,
Yeah.
8 Pop-Tarts that you're eating in one sitting. And sometimes I don't even toast them. I just eat them. So
I
I'm just
never
telling you.
toast
Like,
them.
okay, you see, yes. You and I could hang out, I see.
Right.
So another flavor I like is chocolate marshmallow.
I love those too. Yeah.
But
like,
strawberry? No
No, I
way.
hate
Not
that.
a
It's
chance.
nasty.
Yeah, no, that's wrong. Okay. Well, you just tell your husband
yeah,
then.
sick.
Well, so if you're married to a chef, when do you guys see each other? Because I don't think, or yes, 16 is open for breakfast as well.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so you're both serving breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then anybody who needs room service. So when do you have time together?
Usually we both have Sundays and Mondays off. Or
Nice.
I'll work in the morning on Sunday because it's a super busy brunch day, but they do the buffet, and so he can step out of there. But he's been there for a while, so he's pretty organized that he can pretty much step out and kind of do his stuff. So Sundays and Mondays we see each other, but we have dinner, like we make dinner like 4 times a month at home because we don't, which is great. I think it works out well because you're like really happy to see each other when you finally see each other.
I would say 4 dinners a month for chefs is pretty good. Because when I talk to chefs, they're always like, well, I can't cook for myself. I'm cooking for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
But you guys actually make dinner at home 4 times a month. I think that's great.
We do, because if you don't, you get really fat.
Yes, well, yes. Must you speak to me about this on Thanksgiving?
Dude.
Yeah, no, I know. I hear you. I was just speaking to my producer, Tom Rush, and he's 6'4", and I was trying to explain to him, it's just not the same for you.
No.
I'm 5'2". It's just, we can't talk about it in the same way.
No.
He can stuff his face, and I, have half a Pop-Tart, and I gotta
Yeah,
go
if
jogging.
I smell it, I'm like,
know.
hi, okay, those don't fit.
Cheated. I know. Robbed. Okay, so you guys do have dinner 4 times together a month, and what do you like to make?
When we cook dinner, we try to cook really healthy. But when we go out to dinner, one of our favorite places to go is Les Sardines and Les Bouchons. Love Les Bouchons. Like, absolutely love that place. So we usually try to, like, go out and then we'll try to cook healthy and, like, make leftovers so you can eat it for the rest of the week.
I always find it's hard if you're a chef because you go out to eat and you can't help but in the back of your mind be thinking, how did they do this? What did they make this with? I mean, and you almost can't sit back and relax. You have to be thinking like, oh, why didn't they open the door? The valet service. I mean, you're looking at the whole restaurant.
We try to not do that. Like, we both made a very active, like, part of just being in the moment and enjoying your dinner. And, like, I think it's a really young chef's thing to do is be very judgmental of everything else that's going on. And once you've kind of been in it for a while, you're like, okay, it's either an off night or somebody's new or it's just like, don't worry about it. Nobody's perfect. Because sometimes you don't put stuff out perfect either. And you're just like, okay, everybody's human. So, like, give people some slack. Like, we are the last people to complain about anything. If it's salty, if it's undercooked, unless it's like completely inedible, I would be like, thank you so much. It was fantastic.
Yes, right. I'm eating it. Yeah. And also you set yourself up for a bad night. If you're prepared to look and criticize and analyze and find the flaw, then you've just signed yourself up for a bad time.
Like, going out to eat is an enjoyable experience, and it should be, instead of just being like on to critique. That's just, don't be part of the haters club. It sucks.
Yes, I agree. I like that. Don't be part of the haters club. Well, okay. So do you have anything specific though? Like, I like to make this for my husband, or this is my go-to dish that I cook really well that I can make in 10 minutes at home. It's easy. I know that. Like, do you have anything signature to you?
Probably my spaghetti sauce. He really, really likes my spaghetti sauce, which is funny because that's what's on the menu, Miss Ricky's.
So share. What's in your spaghetti sauce?
Red wine and garlic and stuff.
Red wine.
It's really simple. My spaghetti sauce is really simple. Onions, and just onions and garlic, and you sweat it down. And I throw in bay leaf and thyme and a little bit of like granulated onion and granulated garlic. That's very important. And a little chili flake. And I deglaze it with wine. And a little teeny bit of tomato paste, and then just tomatoes. Or if I'm really super fast, I get the Newman's Own jarred spaghetti sauce and doctor it up with that, and it's fantastic.
Wow, I'm taking notes. What was the granulated part again?
Granulated onion and garlic, or powdered onion and garlic.
Onion and garlic.
And a little bit of oregano, dried oregano.
I think this is the best Christmas gift there is. So when I have time, because some years I'm able to do this, I buy huge amounts of tomatoes, and I, just like you, sweat down the onions and the garlic, salt, pepper, throw in whatever I want. Particularly if I had it from my garden and I saved it and I dried it, then I can have whatever rosemary, oregano, thyme, and fresh tomatoes, and then I put the tomatoes in a blender, and I've sauteed everything else, and then I add that to the blender, and I have this great sauce, and you can freeze it. Yes. So I give it to people at Christmas, and then I'm like, okay, here's this huge vat of sauce. It's usually a pretty big tub that I give people because I want it to be a significant gift, and then they can thaw it whenever they want, or just eat it then, and they have something for me. And it's always nice to have, sauce that's not out of a jar.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. My grandfather used to do that. My dad's dad, he had a 5-acre garden, and he would get like 5 cases of tomatoes, and we would jar tomato sauce all summer. I remember as a kid having to turn the thing that like pulls all the seeds and the peels out, and you're just like, ugh.
What were you turning? What was it?
He had this little machine that you can still buy them. They're these little plastic cranks, and it's got like an auger in it, and it pulls the seeds out and the skins. So you just get fresh tomato pulp and the juice. And then he would cook that down, and then he would can it, and there would be just tons of canned sauce, and the whole family would get tomato sauce. Tomato-based sauce all the time.
So good, but it's a lot of work.
It's a ton of work.
Even though it's pretty simple. We mentioned the ingredients. That's right. That's why you have children. Generations of children, just so you can have help making the sauce.
And cleaning it.
Oh, that's right. Clean as you go, people. Clean as you go.
Clean as you go.
Does Tom have any, I'll call him Thomas, does Chef Lentz have anything that he likes to make in the kitchen? His go-to?
Depends. If it's really late, we frequently have what he calls eggs and shit.
Oh, so it's like garbage eggs.
Yeah, which is usually delicious because it always has tons of cheese and butter in it, and it's on toast. Sorry.
Right, so that's got to be good. And I bet some Tabasco always works into that. And
yeah. But there a while, we got on this tirade of we're going to make all these classic old French dishes. So he started making, he made pâté en croûte, he made hare royale, he made lobster. He just went crazy.
So pâté is one of those things that
takes a while.
It takes a while, and it's also one of those things that was the first to sort of make me say, I think I'll go vegan. Yeah, I think I'll go over the edge. Although, like I say, I still eat lots of seafood, and my mother has, every Christmas, she makes it to die for with a very secret ingredient that I'm not allowed to share on the radio, oysters Rockefeller.
Oh, yeah.
It's our go-to Christmas recipe item that we eat every year. And it's not the holidays unless my mother has made oysters Rockefeller.
Oh, that's awesome.
But talk about painful preparation.
Yeah.
So you have to shuck each oyster, and then inevitably you poke yourself with the shucker at some point. So my poor mother has dutifully for decades now made oysters Rockefeller. And we have a rather large family if you count all the cousins. And, 40 people will come from all over because my mother's shucking oysters, so it's always a good time.
That would make me sad if I had to shuck oysters for 40 people. Oh my god,
And she, and she doesn't have this isn't a restaurant, it's just her. She doesn't have a sous chef, although that would be me, but I wasn't shucking, of course.
Yeah.
So we've been chatting about food and recipes and family recipes, but I think it's time to start talking about Top Chef. So you were on Bravo's Top Chef in 2014. It was season 12. Seems like a long time ago now, but it was really only 2 years ago.
Yeah, it does seem like a long time ago. So much has happened.
So much have happened for you and all of your castmates, I'll say. Was it as stressful as all that? It seems like it could have been a really tricky time.
It was pretty stressful because you have no idea what's going on. And as chefs, you were you're control freaks. All we do is control our environment and control the product that comes in because our job is to make sure that all of those meals get out on time, perfect, all the time. So when you have no control over what you're doing, what you're seeing, where the product's coming from, so you're just like, okay.
And is there anything that you learned from that show, doing that show, that made you a better chef, or something that you would not do again in the kitchen because you were on that show?
I did learn a lot about myself. I am a planner. I like to plan things out a lot. I like to make sure that I have tasted it before it goes out to somebody, and that you can, like, not being able to do that is like crucifying to me. Like, it just makes me want to just like, I can't do this. Like, I can't just like wing it and pretend that I know this is going on, because that's not something you can like really practice for.
Well, I think of most chefs as planners just because there's so many details to a recipe that you're always kind of thinking the next step. But I would think the most stressful thing would just be that, I'll call it sort of fake situation, but of course I don't really know because I haven't been on a show like that. But in most reality TV shows, I think of it as a very kind of fake situation where you're pitted against each other. Did you feel that?
Yes, and we all kind of thought that was annoying. So we were like, we're all really tight. And it was just kind of like a reaping. Like, they would just come in and like pluck somebody out. So you were like little cows going to slaughter every time you'd go into the stew room. So it was a terrible feeling. And you're just like, you are really close with everybody, except for, maybe there's always like one or two people you're like, oh my God, please go. But
get eliminated. Come on.
Please go away. You are a jerk. But other than that, like, you're really super sorry to see your friends go, because it's like, and like, we enjoy cooking together. We enjoy talking and hanging out and like barbecuing. And so when we got to the elimination house, we had the best time ever.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. And you're still in touch today. That's amazing to me.
Like, they should have had cameras on us there at the elimination house, because we barbecued every night. Like, we hung out by the pool. We had it was fantastic. We had a great time.
And the elimination house is where you go after when you're not on air, basically,
yes,
right?
Because they keep you. They can always bring you back.
It's incredible. They sort of sequester you. It's like the O.J.
totally.
Simpson
It's like being in jail.
Yes, right. Yes.
You get one phone call a week if you're lucky.
Oh my gosh. And how long does it go on? In terms of taping? Was it 3 or 4 weeks?
I was gone for 2 months.
Oh my gosh, you are a prisoner.
It's a long time. You have no phone, you have no email, you have no nothing. So you're kind of hanging out there and like no magazines, because they don't want you to talk about anything that's current.
Wow. It's I don't know if I could do it.
Yo, dude, you're just like, at one point you're just like banging your head against the wall.
Would you do it again?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay, so it was just too stressful, really.
Well, I have a husband and a family, and if I was like no strings attached, totally different. But I was also the executive sous chef at Trencherman. We were, Heisler was blowing up at that point, and I was such an important part of like running that restaurant. So Pat and those guys could do other stuff, that it was like killing me to not be there, because I would get all these emails and I was like, okay, guys.
And Pat Sheeran, I do have to say, he's one of my very favorite people.
He's
and
awesome.
Trencherman to this day remains one of my very favorite restaurants.
Okay.
Their tots are so good. They're really, that's a classic dish of theirs. And I love that restaurant. It's so beautiful. The bar,
It's
the 2
gorgeous.
rooms. It's really lovely. But you actually came from Vegas to work at Trencherman.
I did.
And that was maybe about 4.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you find Chicago coming here?
Well, the Trump brought us here because Tom was the chef de cuisine at Joel Robuchon, the 3 Michelin-star restaurant. And so he was called and was offered the position at 16. And so I was the executive sous chef at Le Cirque at the Bellagio.
In Vegas, yeah.
In Vegas. And so I came out here and was kind of like, okay, now what am I going to do? And it was January, so nobody was hiring. So I had some time to explore the city. And then Tom I don't remember how he found out that Mike and Pat had like paddled together to get Trencherman open, but it wasn't open yet. So I was their first hire.
Oh, that's great.
And we literally lived like exactly a mile from there, so I could walk to work every day.
Beautiful. But how did you find the city and the people? Was there any kind of culture shock for you coming to Chicago?
I had kind of expected, I had never been here. We had been to visit like one time, but everyone was so nice. And like, I went to college in New York, like So I was like, okay,
Where
big city.
people aren't that nice.
They're not that nice. And I also grew up 2.5 hours from San Francisco. People are very not nice. And it's also a really rough town all over the place.
So I just have to interject here because everyone always sings the praises of San Francisco, and I'm not here to dish it. Like you said, we're not going to be part of the haters club. But every time I go to San Francisco, I marvel at the city. It is so beautiful. People are so mean to me. Two people flipped me off when I was trying to park, and I realize that everyone's now thinking, oh, it's because you're a bad parker, Elizabeth.
No, it is like that place has some haterade going on. It's
aggressive.
so annoying.
I was just parallel parking like anybody would. And it was pretty aggressive. So I have to say, I don't know if I would ever want to live there. But New York, I would live. But I know it's just not as welcoming as Chicago.
No, Chicago was awesome.
So what was it that surprised you about the city or that you didn't expect you would like and you ended up liking?
I love that it's so easy to drive in. Like, and I'm a driver. I love to drive. But that I can like whip a U-turn anywhere, even like downtown. And driving downtown is so easy. Living in New York and living in San Francisco, where driving downtown is it's a war zone.
Yes, you wouldn't even do it. I can't even imagine driving in New York. I don't think I would bother. I wouldn't even have a car.
And it's like the streets are so tiny, and here the streets are like nice and wide. It's kind of like being like back home in Chico. Like it's easy to drive.
And I always feel like there's not that much traffic here. I've been going back and forth to LA and spending time there and working there, and I've been coming back to Chicago, of course, because it's my home and I love it. But I get here and I just think like, wow, the streets are kind of empty.
Yeah, like serious traffic is serious traffic out there. Like it can get kind of rough on the freeways here, but not bad. Nothing compared to like out there and you're on the 405 forever.
Yes, right. You sit. You can just kind of do your
days.
work, and you've got you're tethering to your phone. You're getting some internet done.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I always like to ask a bunch of questions from chefs. I'm always curious. What is the thing that we are always going to find in your fridge?
Wine, red wine.
Ooh. What kind of red wine?
I love a Rhone red or like a deep Pinot Noir.
Oh, deep
that
Pinot Noir,
and like
my very favorite.
Sour cream and onion potato chips is like my favorite dinner.
Not much cooking involved there.
But it's tasty.
Well, that's okay. And then you pair it with red wine.
Yeah.
I'd like a deep Pinot Noir, circa 1969, and then onion potato chips.
Yep, sour cream and onion potato chips, red wine, good to go.
Well, I was going to ask you what your favorite snack is, junk food, but I guess that would be it.
That and cookies. I love cookies.
Do you make them yourself, or are you talking out of the box?
Both.
Ooh. What do you make out of the box? Or what do you get out of the box?
I love Milanos, and they have new mint ones that are just joyous.
I can't do it. I got to say, mint does nothing for me.
I love them.
Oh, I love that. No, I think, I don't know, mint candy like Frangos, this kind of thing.
Those aren't very good.
No. Although historically they were meant to be great in Chicago, but I don't know, mint to me is not desserty enough. It's not sinful enough.
No, but like that dark chocolate with a little bit of refreshing mint so you can retaste the chocolate when you bite back into another cookie is just fantastic.
All right, I see you're a diehard.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're almost out of time here, so I'm just going to ask you one quick question before I let you go. First of all, thank you for bringing me some leftovers from the Virgin Hotel, Miss Ricky, because I will be eating that very shortly. What is the one dish that everybody should know how to make?
Oh, scrambled eggs.
Yes, I agree. It can get you through anything.
Yes, and please do not over-scramble your eggs. That is so gross.
What do you mean by over-scrambling?
If they are hard and rubbery, it makes it like it will put children off of eating them. Getting eggs overcooked, they get this sulfuric smell to them and they get really rubbery.
So are you saying don't overcook them or don't scramble them with a fork?
Don't overcook them. Like
I see.
When you feel like they're getting like custardy and a little bit like pull your pan off the heat and keep stirring. I promise they will continue to cook, but they will be like silky and beautiful and lovely.
Wonderful tip for the night. I leave everybody on Thanksgiving with don't overcook your eggs. Rebecca LaMalfa, thanks for joining me tonight.
Thank you for
I super
having me.
appreciate it.
Thanks for joining in on The Celebrity Dinner Party with me, Elysabeth Alfano. To stay in the know, follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at DinnerPartyCHGO and on Facebook at Elysabeth Alfano and at The Dinner Party. To subscribe to this podcast, find The Celebrity Dinner Party on iTunes and on SoundCloud. And if you want to send me an email about today's podcast or anything else, you can find all my information at www.thedinnerparty.tv. The editor of The Celebrity Dinner Party is Andrew Jensen. The original music is by the Websters and Ship Captain Crew. Thanks for listening today. And join me on the next Celebrity Dinner Party podcast, where the best conversations happen over dinner.